Zurich Open Air with James from the Shins. Hi, James.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. I think you have the song of the year for me so far with It's Only Love. What's the story behind it?
The story there was a friend of mine who has been going through difficult times, I guess, emotionally and otherwise, and I guess I was thinking, it'd be good to have, maybe I wished at some times in my life that somebody would sing me a song of this sort that was maybe encouraging but not being overly romantic about it or unrealistic, but just sort of some words of encouragement,
And did it help?
I don't know. I don't really know, I don't know if the person really knows that that's what it was about,
We watched the video yesterday, which is, very fantastic from the storyline, and it has no solution in the end. Can you tell us what it's about, or is it like artistic freedom, we do whatever we want?
Right. Well, the treatment was written by a guy named Hiro, and he just kind of came up with this idea that I thought was perfect in a way, because it doesn't have an answer, I guess, in the end of the video. The idea is that these creatures have risen out of the earth somehow, we don't know, and they're now basically harvesting, the people. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool because there's this darkness, so in a way it's almost comic in that I'm singing this It's Only Life and I'm being dragged off by one of these creatures.
But there's also this kid which lives in his fantasy world.
Right, and they leave him alone because I think they think he looks like them. Maybe he's one of them somehow.
Is this already like practicing when you tell fantasy stories to your kid?
Yeah, I suppose it is a little bit. I wonder when we will show them that video because it's a little spooky. But I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, so maybe they're not quite ready yet.
But do you make stories up now and tell them like unicorn stories or something like that?
Yeah, I do. I think like every dad has to, they make you. Yeah, but I enjoy doing that, yeah. Make up just silly nighttime stories and sort of, some of them are slowly develop and change and stuff. Yeah.
Do you think becoming a dad now changed your writing process or your influence to write songs?
What I've noticed, I think, is that it has made me, being a dad has made me concentrate on things outside of myself more. I think I used to worry a lot about, what was going on inside of me and sort of, it was very sort of self-centered in a way, which is a typical sort of immature thing, Not that I was necessarily mature, but I was just very focused on me. When you have kids, it sort of just pulls you out. You can no longer really worry about yourself, So things that are sort of more about the wider world became important to me, on especially this record, For Tomorrow.
When we look at the setup of the band these days, it's actually you. You are the Shins. I mean, there are other guys as well, but they weren't on the last record. Why you go still with the Shins or not as a solo record?
Right. Well, I started the Shins in my bedroom just as a recording project and working alone. Excuse me. So I think therefore it's fair for me to just continue to stay the Shins. And it's always been a process of me sort of writing things alone and then getting people around me to help me flesh them out and so on. So I think it's always been this way, actually. Even though, for a long time I really wanted to, have more of the image of a proper band, because I like that, And when we play on stage, we are a proper band. I really show the songs to the guys and say, here's what I did. I like certain moments, but figure out what you would put. And so when we play live, there's a lot of improvisation and there's new parts that you won't hear on any of the records.
Are there sometimes moments when you say improvisation? I know that from my little bands, when the guitar player doesn't do the normal tune, you look like that and say, "What the hell? Did that happen?"
Not really, I'm pretty open to that, and I think it's good to be open to that sort of thing because you never know what's going to come up. Something might develop and just make it. Like one of our songs, No Way Down, started. We began practicing it, and the drummer just started doing a totally different beat, and it was like, whoa, wait, that's cool. And the bass player came up with a really cool bass line for it, and now we have a song that's almost completely different, except for the lyrics and my melody fit over this chord progression and stuff. So, which I think is really fun for a member of the audience to see that.
But let's say you have like a dramatic break and the drummer just keeps going, then the power is gone.
I see what you're saying. We try and stay away from those things. And I think, you have to have people in your band who sort of have their instincts. They have maybe similar instincts to you as to how important is the song versus me rocking out or something,
We talked about former bandmates, and they also played on your current record. Were they like, do you take us on tour or not, or was this no question?
Right. Yes, it was. There was a conversation there. It was just, I just handled it as best I could. I just wanted to work with other people and stuff, and I explained that to them, and they seemed to understand pretty well.
So you had also side projects in that break with Broken Bells. Do you bring stuff like that into your current Shins productions, or like, for example, I heard when, for example, people who played with Butch Walker and they got produced by him, he did, for example, all the drums separately, and then they came back and said, "Hey, we got to do that as well on our next record." So, do you bring in stuff like that from experiences with other projects?
Right. Most of the really interesting recording techniques that Brian does, the ones that are unique, I couldn't even pull off. He does stuff that's like very specific to his way of using certain bits of software and stuff. So, I think the influence that I took from Broken Bells was more almost like an attitude about songwriting and about the recording process. Sort of, I think it opened me up a little bit more to new directions and like performance-wise. I think Brian gave me a lot of confidence to sing with a bit more emotion, more emotively, I guess.
So it's been 5 years, and then you write songs. I bet during those 5 years, and for example, you had New Slang as a song back in the 2000s. Is a song like that sometimes occurs when you write new material?
To sort of like try and live up to it?
Yeah, because the expectations of a lot of people, I'm pretty sure because of Garden State and stuff, a lot of people only know this song, and then they come and you sound maybe different or something.
I know, I do wonder about that sometimes, because our live show is much more energetic, I guess, most of it, than people would be led to believe. I struggled for a long time after maybe Garden State to try and convince people that we weren't actually a singer-songwriter type of like quiet acoustic band, which we never were. It was just, I had success with a couple acoustic songs, and so it is. There's always notions that people get in their head off of first impressions and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, the way that I avoid getting caught up in that trap of trying to feed people's intentions is I just avoid reading the press stuff and the criticisms out there. I just avoid it. So I don't know. I don't know if if there was much of a hubbub about it.
Yeah, but when you end up at places like, for example, Saturday Night Live, they get you because of that, and then you have to play stuff like that there.
Yeah, which they did the first time we played. Yeah, they wanted New Slang, which was like 5 years old or something. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, which I obliged though. You know, I mean, I understood that I was lucky to be on Saturday Night Live playing, you know, for the millions of people and stuff. So I didn't have much of a problem with it.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's your child, and I mean, you don't give away your child just because it's old.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still have a strong connection with that song, for sure.
Okay, and what's now? You're on tour the whole time. What's gonna be after that? You're gonna do new Shin stuff, or maybe another project?
Right. Well, so Broken Bells will do another record. So I'm going to get back together with Brian in the next couple months and work a little bit. And then I think after the first of the year, we'll get more serious about it and work hard on that. So Broken Bells is kind of the next thing I'll really concentrate on recording wise. Otherwise, I'll tour for the Shins for a few more months.
So is it hard now when you said it's different now because you have a family? Is it harder to tour now?
Yeah, you know, you just feel homesick. You know, I never used to really have that sense of like that I was really missing out on, you know, my kids' lives. You know, the changes happen so quickly. You know, when they're young like that, and you know, I come back and I notice new developments, and it's bittersweet all the time. But you know, it's I still enjoy myself out here. You know, you have to make it fun. You have to, you know, and it's the way we make a living. You know, and it's enjoyable as well. Right now, I've got my wife out here, and the kids are with grandma and grandpa, so it's kind of a perfect scenario right now. They're taken care of. Everybody's satisfied right now.
Well, I saw now some older bands when I interview them. When you go backstage, there's always like family room, kids room, and stuff. Is that an option for you in the future?
I think so. I think as the kids get a little older, 3 years old is still they're so young that it's definitely a challenge. I know that other bands do take the kids out at that age, but we found it just makes it's a struggle. So what we've done is we keep the tours a little bit shorter than normal tours, and I get to come home for a week or so.
Great, but first you're going to play now here, and we're looking very forward to have you, and also to new projects. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was James from the Shins, and we're looking forward to see more of him, but also of our interviews, and we'll be back. Until then, bye. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.